What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, coming at you today with another daily trade review. Today we're going to be reviewing trades that we have taken on April 11th, 2022. Decent day in the market today. We still see the choppiness that's been going on. No clear follow through, and we are learning to adjust to that particular market action. So go ahead, look at the charts for today. We have our usual five. We got the markets, and then we have PayPal. PayPal was a trade that we held over the weekend in our Webull account. It was a put play, so wanted to see what it was doing off the open. We ended up closing that out for a decent little gain. AMC was one that we are holding a call on in the small account. That contract is red. I was going to close it out today, but just because of the size of the contract, we only paid $35 for the contract. So if it expires worthless, we'll be out of $35. But as you can see on AMC, it did make a nice little move off this bottom, and it closed higher on the day. So this contract expires on the 14th. We'll see if we can get a little bit out of it. I don't think that it'll get us all the way back in the green, but you never know. So we'll be holding that one to see what it does. And then we had Walmart. Walmart was one that we took some plays on last week. Based on the daily chart today, Walmart was back on the list. And it was on the list because it was gapping down. And it had gapped down and cleared the previous day's candle. So we were looking for Walmart to make a move down. So I actually traded it a few times today. It was our only losing trade of the day. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up tradervue, and we'll look at the numbers. Again, April 11th, we took 7 trades today. Closed P&L 104. First trade out the gate, Walmart. It was a losing trade. And then everything else was green. 2 very small green trades here. And then decent trades there. We did only buy 1 contract on every trade. So had we bought 2 contracts, you could pretty much double everything. But most of these would have stopped out, I think. We'll have to review it, so don't hold me to it. But most of these, I believe, would have stopped out if we bought 2 contracts and we were taking our 1R, or we were risking $25 per trade. These would have been a little sketchy. And that is how we are kind of compensating for how this market is right now. We're giving the trades a little extra room than we usually would. But let's go ahead. Let's get the charts pulled up and let's get reviewing. And what I will do on these, because we only took 1 SPY, let's go ahead and get that one out the way. Let's get the SPY out the way, and then we'll go and get Apple out of the way. Apple was 2 trades. And then we will get Walmart out the way, since we took more trades on that one. So let's go ahead and where were we at on this one? We'll clear those out. Bring this back. And we took this first trade at 1026. First trade, 1026. And let me open it so I can see the exact time. 10:26 in 1 second. So we were getting in this right as it was breaking the low of that previous candle. Decent entry. That's a decent entry. Again, one contract. Stop is going to be about up here. Give it some extra wiggle room. We'll put the stop up here to the VWAP. But we see we never needed it. And we got out of this 5 minutes later. 10:31. Got out in that candle right there. And I would say we kind of got scared out of this trade. Because look at that. Had we stayed in through this candle, we would have got confirmation. We got sellers. We got this nice top and tail. We would have got confirmation that this was going to continue to go lower. But we kind of got scared out of this trade because of this bottom and tail right here. Because of that bottom and tail. And we made $14 on this trade right here. 14 bucks. Definitely left decent money on the table. Definitely left decent money on the table. And that was our only SPY trade. Now let's go ahead, take care of the Apple trades. Took 2 Apple trades. First trade we got in at 9:57 and 49 seconds. 9:57, 49 seconds. We getting in on this candle right here. Somewheres in that candle. Up here would have been the good entry. You see, we're getting in well extended. Well extended. We've missed most of the move. But getting in right there. We set our stop about right there if we had 2 contracts. Somewhere's right about up in there. 1 contract. We can give that one some good room. But got in right here. And we got out of this one at 10:12. Let's find 10:12. 10:12 is over here. Again, we didn't really let this trade work. It is choppy, but because we can give this extra room, we should have kind of let this trade work. We made $6 on this trade. Let's see. We got in there. This thing made a good move. Let's see. We got out. The stock was at 166.90. Down there, 166.40. You come all the way down, 166.20. So definitely left some money on the table. One thing with Apple is that Apple doesn't move quickly. It doesn't give you dollar moves unless it's popping. So this one was kind of just chopping down. Never would have really gotten a full dollar move out of it. So we might have made 1 R with this coming all the way down. We might have made about 25 bucks. But that was our first Apple trade. And then our second Apple trade, which we took a little later in the morning. We took this one at 10:36.51. 10:36.51. This 10:36 is this candle here. We're getting in as it is close to the bottom. Not a bad entry. We just came down. We got the pullback. Here would have been good. So we got in a little late. Again, put the stop up here. Give it extra wiggle room. We could put the stop up here somewhere. And we got out of this one at 1051. 1051. Got out of it on this green candle here as it was pushing back up. Again, weighted these stocks, weighted Apple moves. I won't say these stocks. Way Apple moves, most we were going to get out of that is about $25. We're going to get 1 R out of 1 contract. And when this came back up, we got out of it and we made $20. Got out of it because this little green candle here showing that buyers stepping in, and we had decent volume on this one. Got these top and tails over here kind of telling us that the move is kind of dead, or not top and tails, but bottom and tails, telling us that this move is kind of dead. So we got out making 20 bucks on it. So decent entry, a little late, and good exit. Good exit. Read this bottom. Good to know that the move was dead. And we see that it did start going back higher after we got out. So good exit. Now let's review the Walmart trades. So first Walmart trade, we got in at 946. And let's take a peek at the daily chart real quick though, just to kind of get an idea of what Walmart was doing. So Walmart had been in a nice move, a nice run the past couple of weeks. And this morning we had our first indication of a red candle, and it had gapped down below the previous candle. So what you want to see on that is it just dropping. But we see that buyers came in and pushed this back up into this candle. And this was the choppiness that we was getting in the morning. And then it finally broke out of that a little later. So with that in mind, let's look at these trades that we took on Walmart. So again, and this gives you the good visualization. So it opened, it was below the previous day's candle. And the buyer stepped right on back in. We should not have been taking a trade anywhere here until we had confirmation that it was going to stay below that prior day's candle. But we took this trade at 946. So right here, this candle here, 946. And we got out of this one at 955. 955. So again, we get in right there, 2 contracts. Stop is going to be about right here. 1 contract, we give it extra wiggle room. It'll be up here somewhere. We got out when it came and it broke VWAP, and we took a $20 loss on this trade. This was our first trade out of the box. Real time, I didn't even think about that this was pulling back into the prior day's candle. This was setting back up for a inside the candle day. And then sellers finally pushed it back down, got us back out of that. Buyers pushed it back up. Sellers came and pushed it back down. And now let's look at our second trade for Walmart. Second trade, we got in 1002. So 1002 be this candle here. Come over here. We still see that we are inside of the previous day's candle. Just if you visualize that candle closed there, all of this is going to be inside of it. So we got in the trade here as it broke VWAP. That was decent. Got in a little early. We probably should have been getting in either on this candle as it peekabooed us in, or this candle once we got past that one. But this candle would have peekabooed us in. Peekaboo us in right there. 2 contracts stopped there. 1 contract again, giving it extra room. This one here we got out of at 10:09. 10:09. Got out this candle right here. Oh, all I can ask myself is, why did I get out right here? Why? Basically got out of this trade flat, made $2 on the trade. Had no real conviction in this trade by doing that. It made a move, made a nice move, went $2, maybe $1.50. So we would have got our target out of that one. But for some reason, we got scared out of it. It's like we did with that Apple trade. Got scared out of this one. And that was our second trade. Like I said, we made $2 on that. Basically flat. Basically paid our Thinkorswim fees, our TD Ameritrade fees. But after that trade, our mindset changed a little bit. And it changed because we were outside of this. We got in this one at 10:22. 10:22. Somewhere's on this green candle right here. Again, you look at this. So this came, it broke, tested VWAP, it failed it. Kind of chopped along right here, consolidating, and then it broke down, and now we want to be a part of the trade. Here would have been a decent entry to be sure that we were going to be on the good side of it, but we got in right there. As usual, one contract, stop's going to be here, 2 contracts. We can give this room all the way up to the VWAP. And we got in this trade at 10:22. We paid $244 for this contract, so we paid a little more than we usually do. Reason being is that we wanted to stay in this trade and let it work. We realized that this one we didn't let work. This one we didn't let work. And we also didn't let the Apple trade work. So bought a contract that was out a little further so that Theta wouldn't start eating into our gains. And we got out of this trade at 134. Let me shrink that down just so we can see what this trade did. We got out of this one at 134. Right here. This candle here. Again, getting in here. 2 contracts. Stop would be somewhere around here, possibly stopping us out. 1 contract, we can give it that extra room. We've been seeing the market is choppy. Let's give it that extra room. We see that this came down, it pulled back, and then it finally went. We had to stay in it for a little while, but we got out down here. I go back, I'll blow up where we got out at now. Got out right here, and we made $42 on the trade. And the reason that we got out there was because look at this little tiny green candle, little doji with decent volume. And then we come right back with this wide range green candle with no sellers in it. It opened and closed at the low and the high. You don't see no kind of wicks on that candle. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this move is done. This move is done. Sure enough, made this little flag, and then it took off back up to the high side. But we got $42 out of this trade. We were trying to get 50 out of it. That's where the target was set at, was 50. And what this thing did is when it got to a certain area, it sent me an alert, and then I just opened my laptop back up, seeing what it was doing, and I'm like, nah, let me go and get out of that trade. So got out of that one, and then we took our last trade on Walmart at 1346. So once we had the laptop open, We let this thing come all the way back up. And we got in this one at 1346. We got in on this candle right here. Looking to the left, as Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. We saw that this area here was going to be resistance. We were playing it as resistance. So got in here. You're going to hear me say this all throughout this video. 2 contracts. We're going to put the stop around here somewhere. Possibly would have stopped out right there. 1 contract. Let's give it that extra room. Let's put it up here somewhere to where if it comes all the way up, we'll take our usual $25 loss, but we're going to give the stock time to breathe. This contract we paid $102 for, so not quite as expensive as the first one, but the first one expired May 20th, I believe it was. This one here had an expiration of April 29th. So it wasn't the contract that was going to expire on the 14th, and it wasn't the one that was going to expire on May. So it wasn't as cheap as they usually are, but it wasn't expensive. And we stayed in this trade here until the close of the day. We got out of this one at 1551. Let's see where that is. That's that candle right there. So again, 2 contracts. We're going to put the stop right about here. That's going to stop us out for about 20 something bucks. Possibly would have got stopped out there. Let's give it the extra wiggle room. And we let this thing just trade and just breathe. And we made 40 bucks on this trade. Possibly could have held it a little longer and maybe hit our $50 target. Possibly. But got what I wanted out of the trade. We were getting to the close to the close of the day. And we were also getting close to 50 moving average. And we see once it broke 50, it kind of bounced, and it bounced strong. Look at the volume on that last candle of people buying into the close. People buying into the close. So that was our last trade of the day. Decent day overall. Decent day. I'm fairly happy with how I traded today. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you haven't already hit that like button, please do so. Please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please think about subscribing. It doesn't cost you a thing. If you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell. Once you hit it, please select all and you'll be notified whenever I post these videos reviewing my trades. I've posted a couple of videos with some of the scanners that I've created and that I used or that I used throughout the day. But yeah, please do that. Like I say, hopefully you find some value in these videos. Again, I like to review them just so I can go back through my trades. I do watch them after I have recorded it. For one, just to see how it's working out. I'm not really a YouTuber, so I like to kind of critique myself. And then it's just good for me to see them on the charts. Get a different perspective other than me being sitting there trading them. So again, hopefully you liked it, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. All right, peace.